Hi friends, welcome to Miss Suman's SG classes. Our today's topic is Introduction to Periodic Table. Today we will talk about the different aspects and the different concepts in periodic table. What is a group? What is a period? Also we'll talk about some elements or some basic blocks, and we will cover all these different concepts here. So this is our periodic table, and every color that you see is different from the other color, has some kind of significance. It is not that the author just wanted to make a colorful periodic table, so he picked up certain elements and he colored them red, or he picked up some other one and he colored them orange. It's not like that. Every color that is a different color has a different kind of significance. We will talk about all of this in today's video. Let's get started. So when we talk about group, it means we are going down the group. It means vertical columns. So when we have our periodic table, we just saw there were some columns like this, or there were some like these. So the group means these vertical columns. When you talk about period, it will mean that this horizontal row, you can call it horizontal column, or you can also call it a row. A horizontal row is known as a period, while group is the vertical column. How many groups do we have? We have 18 groups in our periodic table. How many periods do we have? We have 7 periods in our periodic table. When we talk about the group, the most common terminology that we use is down the group, and whenever we talk about a period, the most common terminology that is used is across the period. Let's see here. When we say period, we are talking about these 7 periods: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When we are talking about groups, we are talking about these vertical columns that you can see. And when you count them, they are from 1 to 18. That is how many groups? 18 groups. And how many periods? 7 periods. Now we are good with this fact that we do understand how many groups and periods do we have. After groups and periods, there comes a third important concept, that is the blocks. How many blocks do we have? So there are 4 blocks in our periodic table. That is the S block, the P block, D and F. So basically these 2 groups, group number 1 and group number 2, together they form the S block. So this group, that is group 1, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, and here group number 2, that is beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. These 2 groups, group 1 and group 2, together they make our S block. S block. When we talk about S block, we say that is group number 1 and group number 2. What is the name of group number 1? Alkali metals. They are known as alkali metals. And what is the name of group number 2? They are known as alkaline earth metals. They are alkaline earth metals. So S block consists of 2 groups. Group 1, that is alkali metals. Group 2, that is alkaline earth metals. Now let's talk about the P block. Now you can very well see that we do not have any elements in this particular part. But on the other hand, immediately after atomic number 1, we have atomic number 2 right here. That is why when we talk about blocks, this is the S block, and from here is our P block. That is why after S we talk about P block rather than talking about D block. This is the only reason. D block begins at atomic number 21, but your P block begins right here at the atomic number 2. So our P block is immediately after S block, that is from group number 13 to group number 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the P block consists of 6 groups. The P block consists of 6 groups. How many groups were in S block? 2 groups. Which groups? Group number 1 and group number 2. The P block consists of 6 groups, that is from group number 13 to group number 18. Let's talk about the name of each and every group of P block. We have so far discussed the name of the groups of S block, that is alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. Group number 13 is known as this group. All these groups will be named by the name of the head of the family. If this is one family, the head of the family is this person, that is boron. So this group, that is group number 13, is known as boron family. Group number 14 is known as carbon family. Group number 15 is known as nitrogen family, and also there is a special name for group number 15, that is group number 15 is also known as nicogens. The P used here is silent. It is known as nicogens. Group number 16, the oxygen family. It is the oxygen family, also known as chaclogens. 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 I repeat, group number 1, that is the S block, was alkali metals. Group number 2, that was also in S block, known as alkaline earth metals. Group number 13, the first member of the P block, is known as boron family. Group number 14 is known as carbon family. Group 15, nitrogen family or nicogens. Group number 16, oxygen family or chaclogens. Group number 17 is known as halogens. The name of group number 17 is very special, that is halogens. The family of fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, they are known as halogens. And our most famous and most stable, that is our group number 18, known as noble gases. I usually explain it to children saying the way we had nobles. Nobles were the people who were very self-satisfied. They didn't need to go and ask for something. They were self-satisfied. They didn't have to make some special connections just for their use. That is how these gases are. These are noble gases. They don't want to go forward and make any kind of bonds with anyone, just for the formation of bonds. They are self-satisfied. They are happy. Also known as inert gases. Inert gases. This is also known as zero group. Zero. So these are all the names given to the S and P block together. When they come together, they are known as representative elements. As we all now know, S block has 2 groups. They have their own names. P block has 6 groups and they have their own names. But the 2 groups of S and the 6 groups of P, when they come together, these 8 groups in totality are known as representative elements. So this is all that we need to know about S and P. We don't have to go into detail for D block, since we only memorize till our atomic number of 20. That is all the elements from atomic number 1 to atomic number 20. And the D block begins at atomic number 21. So we will just gather some basic information about D block, and we don't have to go in too much detail for D block. The very first thing is D block is known as transition metals. Transition. What is transition? Transition means a change, a slow change. So the S and the P, there are lots of properties of S and P that are completely different from each other. So D is like a bridge that is connecting the S and the P. That is why it is known as transition. Transition metals. D block is also known as transition metals. So the D block starts from group number 3 till group number 12. So 1 and 2 are in S, 3 to 12 are in D block. Group number 3 to group number 12 are in D block. So if I may write that the S block has two groups, let's write it like this, group number 1 and 2. The P block has 6 groups, that is from group number 13 to group number 18. Our S block, our P block, then comes the D block. When they come together, they are known as representative elements. The D block has 10 different groups, that is from group number 3 to group number 12. D block is also known as transition metals. Now comes a very important and a very special block, that is F block. So when we talk about F block, we think that okay, like every other blocks, there are some different groups that are particularly for that particular block. Similarly, F block will also have some groups, but you will be surprised to see the position of F block. Let me take you there. So this right here is where we have the first row of F block. So my dear friends, what happened was, so after barium, the scientists found lanthanum, and lanthanum had an atomic number of 57. After lanthanum, scientists found 14 other elements that had their properties exactly like lanthanum. So we know when we find different elements of same properties, we place them after each another, that is down the group. So technically all these elements should have been placed like this, going down. But you can very well imagine, if I start at lanthanum and we go down 14 steps down, this periodic table would have become so big that it would have been difficult to make it on a piece of paper. So the scientists thought that this turns out to be a little tedious process, and in order to avoid all this problem, this undue kind of stress, why not keep them separate at the bottom? So we're gonna keep a block right here. You can see that is why this is colored in this particular color, because we are trying to tell that lanthanum starting from 57 all the way to 71 lutetium, all these 14 elements belong here. But now if you look carefully, they all come under group number 3. Group number 3 and period number 6. So if I ask you the position of lanthanides, this whole group, or you can call this whole family, is known as lanthanides. So what is the position of lanthanides? You will say group number 3 and period number 6. From atomic number 57 to 71. Similarly, if you look at the next one, that is actinium. Actinium was 89, and the last one, lawrencium, was 103. And exactly the same thing, just to avoid that undue lengthiness of the periodic table, we chose to write them at the end. That is, atomic number 89 to 103. Which group again? Group number 3. It didn't change neither for lanthanides nor for actinides. But what changed? The period changed. So lanthanides were period 6 and our actinides are period number 7. This is a very special concept here. I will say it one more time. The F block, the entire F block is in group 3. There are two series, that is lanthanide series and actinide series. Lanthanide series belong to period 6 while the actinide series belong to period 7. The lanthanides have atomic number 57 to 71 while the actinides have it from 89 to 103. This is how we have F block in the middle, or you can say in the D block. So the D block was known as transition metals. This is the only reason that the F block is known as inert transition elements, or you can also say inert transition metals. So the S and the P together are known as representative elements. The D is known as transition metals and the F is known as inert transition. Let's talk about the number of elements in each period. Period number 1, that has only hydrogen and helium, hence there are 2 elements. Period number 2 has 8, 2 of S and 6 of P. Period number 3 also has 2 of S and 6 of P, that is 8. Period number 4, see this is where it's 1 in the S and 1 in the P. Same goes here, S and P. Same goes here, S and P. Period number 4 is very special because from here the D begins, that is 18. For period number 5 also 18. Period number 6 and 7, we just said that here we have F. That means 32, 32, 32. 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32, 32. These are also known as magic numbers. When we will talk about electronic configuration in our upcoming videos, we will discuss electronic configuration in detail. So far, we just need to understand that this is a set of magic number 2, 8, 8, 18, 18, 32. 2, of course, this is the shortest period, that is period number 1. And as you can see, period number 6 and 7 are the longest periods. You cannot pick one from them. They are both the longest periods. So this is all about periodic table that we need to know. I hope you like my video. We have tried to cover all the basic concepts of periodic table, and for better understanding, I would highly encourage to repeatedly watch this video till the time you feel that you are good with all the concepts. Feel free to leave me a message for any question or doubt. I'll be more than happy to reply back. If you like my video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.